Here we go.
From the Webcast One Live studios located in the Skywalk system of downtown Des Moines, a worldwide Blitz production. The Bigfoot Diaries Live. Featuring your host, Troy Church.
I don't think he's doing a whole lot of singing with the Tabernacle Choir.
Joining him in the studio is his illustrious sidekick, Seth.
He has hereditary tendencies of the most diabolical kind.
The always dangerous Grant's Tomb.
Dancing is forbidden.
And the real man behind the curtain, Sebekian.
It's such a fine line between stupid and clever. Yeah, it's just a little turnabout.
Do not adjust your resolution. Things are about to get fun.
Welcome to Des Moines. Wait, that's not how I want to start the show. Let's start. Take two here, okay? Welcome to Tornado Ravaged Des Moines, Iowa. How we doing, you guys? I'm in the studio with my regular panel of friends here. I got Grant's Tomb, and actually we're joined by Dr. Evil tonight. Mr. Clean is taking the night off. Sebekian could be here any moment. He kind of seems to be lost, missing in action.
Chasing tornadoes.
Hope he's safe, yeah. But we do have some studio guests with us. We have Seth Peters and BJ Forst of Dead Horse Trauma, the hardest working band in Des Moines. How are you guys doing?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. I hope it's okay outside. I got a text from our musical guest Jeff Banks, and he's gonna try to wait out the tornado warning. So I guess that's kind of pending at the moment. But you guys made it, so we're good. We can talk some rock and roll on the Bigfoot Diaries Live. You guys are known throughout town as the hardest working band, and actually, I would even take that further. I was talking to your manager, Matt Miller, and he mentioned that of all the bands he works with, he's out in California, that Dead Horse Trauma is the hardest working self-promoting band he's ever dealt with. And that's a huge compliment, you know? So what is your theory, or what is your business model when it comes to self-promotion and marketing yourselves?
I think there's like a Midwestern theme with it, really. Like people from the Midwest work hard to get what they want. And we kind of have that mindset. Like we work all day, every day, doing anything possible to get to the next level or get to that next goal. I mean, goal setting is important anyway. You got to figure out what you want to achieve and how you're going to get there. And that's something every band should do. They should lay it out and just make a plan on how you're getting there.
What is your ultimate goal?
I guess right now,
Headline Laser Fest?
Well, no.
To do it every day, you know, like we're at the point now to where it's, I don't think it's so much a label that we're interested in as much as it is just putting ourselves out there every night.
Right.
I mean, I think it's come to the conclusion, not only with us, but all across the music scene in general, that the time is gone. You know, everybody, you're, in my opinion, right now, the way that we are, we set ourselves up, with the work ethic that we have and the approach that we've built to be able to profit from what we're doing, which most bands at our level don't even get to do most nights. So to be able to put ourselves out there and treat it like a business, you get what you put in at the end of the day.
Sure.
Yeah. Record labels are dead. They're done for. I mean, to be successful nowadays, I think you have to do everything yourself or hire it out. You know, hire a good booking agent, hire a good publicist. But you know, the label, they were made to promote your albums, and they take a percentage of the proceeds. Well, those are no longer good enough for them because everybody will download it. You know, you have to have a live show now. Like, you need to be on the road traveling. That's where your money's made now, because out of 10 people that have your album, 7 or 8 of them probably downloaded it.
Right.
But it's cool if they come to the show. If you're putting on a show that they want to see, then you're going to get your returns anyway. I mean, that's just a promotional tool you have to get people in the doors to see your show.
And that's not a problem for you guys. When you guys play, the people come to the show. And that's another thing that separates you guys from other bands in the area. There's a lot of incredible music in Des Moines. But we were talking about Nest of Snakes earlier and how, you know, I went to their first show and it was really crowded at the whole Avenue Tap. But I heard, you know, you guys were mentioning that since then, maybe that, you know, the crowds really aren't there all the time, you know, even though it's a great band. Dead Horse Trauma is there and the fans represent. And that goes out to you guys, you know, your promotion style. Like I said, it comes back to marketing and, you know, the things you're talking about. So you guys do travel a lot, tour a lot?
Yeah, and that's what's made it easier to do a Des Moines show. You know, we space them out quite a bit. We don't want to oversaturate the market. I mean, people see us here all the time. We don't want people to be able to say, you know, well, we'll just catch the next one, you know, and that just keeps happening. We'll catch the next one. We'll catch the next one.
Right.
But we're at a point, luckily enough, that we can travel around and we can hit other audiences in the market and just try to build our following wider and wider. But yeah, when we come home, people come out in full force, and it's nice because we make it an event. You know, we don't do it all that often, so you better come see it.
And how do you do in cities like Minneapolis or, you know, the bigger cities? How do you guys do there?
I would actually claim Minneapolis is my second home away from home. The hospitality that comes from that area is just overbearing sometimes. You know, there's so many nice people out there. It's another really good scene where the market, in my opinion, is just really oversaturated with talent. So you get the opportunity to actually play with a lot of high-level bands that are stuck in the same spot as you all the time. I think that we've actually, Minneapolis is a good example because we've drawn so many friends out of that area and so many bands to be able to work with directly. And I think in the approach in that aspect, it works out to our advantage because, you know, then you get into the show trade aspect and putting yourself in a position to where we can almost go up there and guarantee a good response each time that we're going up there, just like we can guarantee them bringing it back.
Yeah, it's win-win. We just found bands that had the same kind of work ethic as us and had a product that was ready to travel with. And, you know, they come here and our fans love them here, and we go up there and their fans have taken a liking to us. But yeah, we were just up there 2 nights ago. Yeah, hospitality is always great. Like, we got to hang out with all the bands that we usually play with. They all come out and hang out, let us crash at their house, shower, you know. So it was a good time, man, to see, you know, we go up there and see our friends. It's pretty fun.
Talking about that work ethic, like I said, nobody does it like you guys do. I was driving to Oklahoma last summer. I was pulled into a Casey's to go to the bathroom, like I think it was like mid-Missouri, and there's a Dead Horse sticker, or I'm sorry, a Dead Horse Trauma sticker on the hand dryer in the bathroom. And I'm like, man, those guys are everywhere. How does that happen? Talk about your work ethic. What separates you guys from the things that other bands are doing?
I think we try to make the smartest decisions we can to benefit our main goal, which is to get out and travel. I don't know. We just worked out good relationships with bands that are drawing in other areas, and also bringing a live show that talent buyers want to pick up and want to help you. You know, they want to turn you on to their city's fan base. So, I mean, that's helped a lot. It's all about networking when you talk about traveling and playing shows, that kind of thing. It's staying in touch with everybody. And
you guys are handing out flyers at other shows too. Yeah. You know, you don't see a lot of bands doing that.
That's huge. I mean, a lot of bands rely on Facebook now, and not everybody has a Facebook. And Facebook does a really good job of snuffing out event posts. If you haven't noticed, they do. It'll snuff it out. Like, you have to hit the streets. You have to conversate with people, meet people, you know, talk to them, hand them a flyer in person. You know, it's more personable. It's not like I just blasted this event and invite out to 3,000 people, and that'll do the trick.
Yeah.
Right.
Out of 3,000, like what percentage would even show up?
You know, even if you have 150 on your going, cut that down to like 60% of those are going to show up.
Did you guys ever get final numbers on that Cedar Release show?
We did. I don't know off the top of my head. I know it was 400 plus.
That place was packed. It got pretty dangerous there for a while.
Did it? I don't see. I'm blinded by the lights. I don't see anything going on out there.
Big old circle pit right in the middle of the venue.
I remember people on and off the stage continuously the entire night. So that was always really fun. I would think that I would want to push in more on like the worth ethic aspect, and we always talk about the live show. Like the live show is looked at as a statement, more or less. In my opinion, music is not only so easily made, but you can cheat the system any way you want to now with the tools that are out there, that by the time it comes down to it, it doesn't take much to make a good song anymore, but it takes a lot to be able to perform that song and for people to get the same feeling that they do when they listen to the album. And when you talk about worth ethic, like another thing that goes into it is you almost have to practice and work how you want to be perceived. And I think sometimes that's kind of the overall message that gets lost at this level where we're at. You get to the point where you play shows and you almost oversaturate yourself with, whether it's the routine that you put yourself in, like there's got to be a dedication factor that comes to it, because not only does it become monotonous at the same time, but if you can't find enjoyment in it, it's going to push you away.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about the social networking. I mean, obviously you guys do use that as a tool.
It's a great tool. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's an excellent tool, but don't rely on it 100%. It's kind of
what all social networking sites do you use?
pretty much all of them.
MySpace.
Yeah, we still
got an active MySpace.
Yeah, we still get messages on MySpace.
Wow.
Twitter, Facebook.
Sure.
I don't think we have an Instagram yet.
No.
I think that might be something to look into.
The scary thing, in my opinion, about the social media aspect is sometimes you don't even have to worry about the website per se snuffing it out, but like it's human nature for us. Like we're all guilty of getting mass amounts of events and half the time just ignoring. You know, you get so many flooding in on a day-to-day basis that you look through 10 and still have another 10 to float through the very next day, and you already have 20 on top. You know, we're just as guilty as the website at that point, and like that's why you can't have full relying faith in the numbers that in my opinion, that you project. You know, you see events all the time where, and we see it in a lot of the shows that we play out of town, you know, where events will read 250 plus, and then you get there and it's not 250.
Right.
You almost question how much work's actually been done to promote the show in general at that point.
You guys pay Facebook to promote? No,
not at all.
And I'm curious if anybody does. If cause I'm under the same boat. You know, I put something up on the Bigfoot Diaries Facebook page, and you know, 4 days later I look at it and it says viewed by 46 people, and I'm just like,
I mean, I think we have once or twice. It's, you know, we make sure it's something we have to, or it's a real necessity to get it to as many people as possible if it's a big event. But we usually go with the cheaper of the option. Like, we're not trying to throw away any extra money on Facebook. Well,
that's where your street teams come in, so to speak. You know, it's part of playing the music and being the musician and having the band is the interaction that you get with your fans. And I think that I would like to think that we take that to a completely different level, because if you ask anybody that enjoys our music, they're going to tell you a time when they've sat down and hung out with us after we've gotten done playing. You know, like we make it a point to hang out with everybody that listens to us, because in turn, they're the ones that do just as much work, if not more, in some instances, as we do. You know, so it's like having that availability to have, you know, 250 people, what seems like some days, you know, like ready to jump the gun to also be the ones that are help passing out flyers or getting the message out or getting the word out, not only about the music, but the group, and making sure that everybody that they have the opportunity to, like you talk about paying for Facebook, it almost becomes obsolete at that point, because when you have 250 sharing, it's like a plague.
Yeah, it's a big thing. It just trickled down. It's trickle down effect.
Something else that, you know, it's talking about your fans. I mean, The only other band from Iowa that I can think of that has logos tattooed on them, Slipknot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you've got an entire photo gallery on your Facebook page with just fan tattoos.
Yeah,
that's pretty nuts.
That is crazy. Yeah, it puts things in perspective for us. Like when that started happening, like this is bigger than just the members. Like people actually are taking stake in this. They're putting it on their bodies forever.
Right.
I mean, that's pretty awe-inspiring for us. You know, it's crazy that people do that. I mean,
does pressure come along with that? Is there pressure now? I mean,
maybe
like
to a degree. Yeah, there's always been pressure in the game, so to speak. But I think the aspect is it's like the hammer to the nail. You know, it does put the perspective that the situation that we're in is bigger than each of us individually. So if you can't look at it that way, you know, it makes it really difficult for you to get to a successful spot.
Could we ever expect the Dead Horse Trauma ballad?
The ballad.
The ballad.
I think we had to do an acoustic song for a radio interview one time, and it really didn't go over that well. So no.
The challenge goes back to you, Grant. If you can find the song that needs to become the ballad, we would play it.
Even if we did, we would never play it live. So don't count on that. We're not taking the tempo down that low. You can watch shows. And when somebody whips out that ballad or even something mellow, people are like, I'm going to go grab a beer.
The crowd immediately dies.
I was guilty of it
Energy
at
gone.
one point. You know, it's like you go and you sit there and you watch a set that's just overbearing, you know. I want to say balls to the wall, you know, like all the time, like just going, and then they immediately stop it.
It's done. Energy's gone.
And then you just see people flock, you know. That's a scary thing. Do I think that the ballad's a bad thing? No. Do I think that
really?
It works in some aspects?
Make 5 good ballads right now.
You guys, heaven isn't too far away. I could continue.
There was a metal band in the 80s or maybe early 90s, and maybe you know this, Dr. Evil.
Striper.
They had a T-shirt that said something along the lines of 6 albums, no ballads. And I've been trying to find that online for...
Slayer?
I want to say it was Exodus, maybe, or...
It's crazy. If
anybody knows that, you can call me at 1-855-244-0077 and let me know what that is, because I'm really curious as to what that is. Or if you want to just ask these guys a question, you can call in and you can talk to them too.
Make my day.
That would be fun. You'd actually be the third caller we've ever had, which is... that's not related to me, or, you know, so...
The ballad's probably out of the question, but the motto of Chorus is bigger than Def Leppard will never die.
Yep.
That's the motto?
That's
Choruses that would make Def Leppard cry.
Yeah.
What's Dead Horse Trauma's panty dropping song?
God, is there one?
Yeah, I mean...
I bet you there's 20 of them.
You can still make that head.
I've seen you guys live. I've seen you guys live.
What are you basing this off?
Well, you guys have your 2 guitars all tuned up, and you're just like... pelvic thrusting.
Pelvic
love
thrusting.
That. You know, all
I
those
may be guilty of a pelvic thrust every now and then. I don't always try to work it into the routine, but sometimes you got to. You know?
Yeah, dude. You have the worst bass face ever.
How do you see it? He looks like Cousin It most of the time. His hair just-
up until the haircut.
Yeah, you flip it and like you twirl it. You do the windmills.
I got to.
That's the cool thing now, I hear.
Oh, you've been doing that for years. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I actually had to lose the long hair as of recently. Unfortunately, there will be no more windmills for me and a lot more sweat in my eyes.
Yep.
Preach it to the choir.
Yeah.
So you guys have real jobs also then. You're not just working musicians.
Unfortunately,
Yes.
Currently, we still have day jobs, but hopefully soon. I mean, we're trying to figure out. The next move is really crucial for us. How to not go completely broke in the next year trying to get to the next level, which the next level is funding our families off of this business we've created. And that's the ultimate goal for any musician is to fund your life off of this. And there's a lot of crucial decisions and moves that have to be made for it to work right. Like all the pieces have to fall in line just perfectly. So yeah, unfortunately we still, we're lucky enough that we can take off work for, periods of time. Like we'll go out for a week or something like that if we do like a national thing.
And your jobs are cool with that.
Yeah.
You understand that?
Yeah.
Yeah, for the most part.
Well, Taylor owns his own tattoo shop. Not that means he can just not work.
Right.
But, he can check out. So that's cool.
What does Taylor do in the band?
Taylor's our keyboardist, sampleist, and he does some backing vocals.
If necessary, would you guys relocate to a different state for better odds?
I wouldn't.
I don't think that relocation's a necessity at this point. I think that where we're at now, the hump, so to speak, is the plan of attack. You know, we've sat down and had a couple of ideas. Relocation hasn't been the aspect that would actually put us out to where we need to be. I think it's more of just the planning aspect. Not even so much the funding, so to speak, but making sure that it's set up to where you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. And if you're trying to get on a record label, then yeah, maybe relocating is best because A&R reps don't travel to see you. They're going to go to the Sunset Strip and they're going to check out the bands playing the Strip. So they're not funding, trips for A&R reps to go all over the country and check out bands anymore. It just doesn't happen. For where we're at, trying to fund it ourselves, Iowa is a relatively cheap cost of living state. Like, it's not terrible. You go to LA, you would lose everything, I think, for us. But trying to be self-sustaining, it's perfect. You're right in the middle of the country. If you start on the West Coast and you got a stopping part right in the middle and then you work your way out to the East, I've seen a lot of nationals move to the Midwest because of this.
Right. Well, hey, we are at the 20-minute mark. We're going to take a small break here, a couple minutes, and we're going to come back, and we're going to talk about the ridiculous amount of subgenres associated with heavy metal music.
Cool.
We're going to try to label. We're going to try to name as many as we can and put a label on them, and maybe offer an example of each. Yeah. So
somebody call in and tell us what subgenre we are.
That'd be fantastic.
I already know the answer to this.
And Turtle Boy, if you're watching, we'd love to have you call in because I know you are the reigning expert on subgenre heavy metal music. So we'll break off for a commercial and we'll be right back on the Bigfoot Diaries Live. Good job, you guys.
The dawn of a new era begins.
Whether you're 10, 25, 50, 80 years old and beyond, everyone needs to live within their means. I'm Tom Coates with Consumer Credit of America. For almost a quarter of a century, we've helped people of all ages learn to manage their personal finances to benefit them far into the future. When problems arise, we've got the experience you need to make those debt problems go away. Got financial problems? Call Consumer Credit of America.
Well, hi, I'm Rob Spearman. I'm a broker-owner of RE/MAX Real Estate Concepts in Des Moines, Iowa. Give us a call if you're looking at buying or selling a home, or if you're having trouble on your mortgage payments or looking to purchase foreclosures. We have the agents to help you, experienced, outstanding agents. Our office number is 515-276-2872. Or if you'd like to look at homes, go to our website, homeconnectusa.com.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
Welcome back to the Bigfoot Diaries Live. That is the Ma Cora that you're hearing as we break into this intro here. Another good local band. I'm going to read my Facebook page here. It says, your show sucks. Wait, what? Hold on.
For real?
No, I'm just kidding. We're going to talk some subgenres with these guys. Heavy metal music has more subgenres than any other genre of music than I could ever come up with. And it seems like just in the last few years, it got flooded. I mean, there was, when I grew up, Okay, this is how I remember when I was in high school in the 80s. Okay, and we were riding the Scorpions and Molly Hatchet on our school peaches, you know. And I remember my friend Sean was asked, you know, what kind of music do you like? And he said heavy metal. And I'm like, what the heck is that? He's like, you know, the Who and you know, I mean stuff that was really heavy at the time, you know.
Yeah.
Then, you know, I listened to some Judas Priest, which I could kind of put that into the heavy metal thing. Iron Maiden, that kind of, you know, but it's still almost all radio friendly. Then I saw Megadeth live, you know, in 1989, 1988 when they opened up for Alice Cooper here at Vets Auditorium. And that changed everything. You know, that was my first introduction to speed metal. And then after that, Judas Priest came out with an album that was also pretty fast. And so, okay, I thought, okay, now there's a new genre of music there called speed metal. I can get that. Move ahead to 2012, 2013, and now there's probably at least 25, 30.
The heavy metal page on Wikipedia is pretty funny to run through.
So I guess what would you label Dead Horse Trauma? If you had to put a subgenre on it, what would you call it?
Post-hardcore, jank, grind, death, fartcore.
Stoner.
No, I don't know.
Viking. Goblin.
Label just pigeonhole you. Like a genre itself just pigeonholes you into the idea that you need to sound like this. Like whatever sounds good to us is what we are, I guess.
Yeah, I first noticed this back when I was in high school, and when you would go to buy CDs, you would see stickers on these CDs for fans of, you know, and a lot of times it was like the same three bands, Slayer, you know, Lamb of God, and then you actually listen to it, it doesn't sound anything like those bands. The thing about the subgenre thing, it's trying to differentiate itself from what came before it, but the problem is it gets so muddled down there. A lot of bands that are walking around here, and I'm not going to name them, but you know who you are. They'll call themselves Gent. Is that how you pronounce it? It's spelled D-J-E-N-T. I don't even know how to pronounce it.
What are you looking at me for?
But here's the thing. That whole term came about. They were interviewing one of the guitar players from Meshuggah, who kind of coined this term as a joke. Somebody in a foreign interview asked him, how do you describe your sound to people who have never heard it? Well, it's kind of like jin, 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 jin. And these little kids ran with it.
That's onomatopoeia. Do you
It's
have
an
a style?
onomatopoeia. Yeah,
Do you have a
exactly.
style called wah? When you use like Metallica, Kurt Womit? Yeah, the overuse of the wah pedal.
Circa 1990 to present.
Correct. You win a beer.
Does anybody know Metallica's first bass player?
Ron McGovney?
Oh, okay. I was hoping somebody would call in.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, caller.
I don't think anybody in my family knows that. So,
But you're right with the muddling down effect. I watched this interview with Phil Anselmo, and he was at some college, I think, in Louisiana.
Yep.
It's an awesome like speech that he gives, but he talks about one part where bands nowadays take the two bands that they like the best and they rip them off. And like back in their day, you'd take like the 10 bands that you liked and rip them off. And that's kind of where you got a more original sound because you're drawing from more than like two simple ideas. You get 10 different things that are pulling you 10 different ways, and it creates your own distinct kind of feeling.
And that's why nobody remembers the power metal or the glam rock that Pantera used to do.
Yeah, exactly.
They were a glam band. There are some hilarious photos of Vinnie Paul.
The Kiss era, Pantera Kiss era.
Yep.
Oh, yeah,
Spandex,
makeupless when they were produced.
Glitter.
feathered hair.
Dayglow.
Everybody went through that phase though now.
Yeah, we went through that phase last night.
Do you guys wear guy liner?
No.
Do you guys wear stretchy pants?
Yeah, no.
Stretchy pants?
Revealing clothing?
I mean, I do have tight pants if that's what you're asking. And yes, there are days that you may or may not be able to see my junk, but I mean, that's a different topic.
You can't see it, but he's wearing capris right now.
Why do you ask, Dr. Evil?
Why not?
Okay, just curious.
They'll flatter me over there.
What you're trying to say? Well, like, sex sells. It does.
Yeah.
Yes,
But
it does. Booty shaking.
We would not be in that classification.
If you're asking if there always needs to be a pretty one in the band, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
Yeah, you guys wouldn't last in death metal. You're too good looking.
Maybe that's why all the death metal bands hate us.
Yeah, you
We've
guys
been
are
lumped on
good
with
looking.
them, and they're like, "This is just like that's where we're the ballad.
Oh, yeah.
We're on a death grindcore show, and everybody's looking at us like we're like Bon Jovi or Def Leppard.
Why are their songs over 2 minutes?
Yeah,
Yeah, you guys don't start a song with a grunt, do you?
no,
no, unfortunately.
or 4 snare pops. Tap 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 blast.
Right.
We don't even.
It cracks me up because I was just listening to a record the other day and I was just thinking the same thing. How many times in my life have I heard that? You know. All right. So what is the definition of grindcore?
Oh, you know, it's grind.
And well, first of all, maybe you watching at home knows this, and if you want to come in or call in, and come in too if you want to.
I think grindcore came about. I mean, it was a fusion of hardcore, and it was kind of a proverbial middle finger to a lot of the glam rock that was going on. I mean, you want to look at everybody calls Napalm Death the founders, or not necessarily the founders, but maybe the godfathers of grindcore. And when they started out, they were taking kind of the hardcore punk influence from the States, and they were cutting out the filler. There were no guitar solos. You know, it was maybe a minute, half song. One of my favorite Napalm Death songs is about 4 minutes, and it literally is just a grunt. But the fact that they were able to actually draw crowds in for that kind of music, pretty amazing. I don't think you can put a definition on that. The definition is the name itself. It's grindy.
Grindcore, they write a lot about maggots, urine, ugly things, blood, dying things.
Like it's in my instance that when I think of a lot of decent grindcore bands out there, it's the punch factor. It's the in your face. I only have to be here for 45 seconds, and then we're already rolling into 3 other tracks, you know. But it still puts you in a position to where, like, it reminds me. I think of grindcore, and then I immediately get put under the topic of math metal at that point. You know, it's like you run into grind, you can't understand the vocals, and then grindcore branches out, and then you have math metal, and nobody understands the time signatures. You have 15 different parts layered on top of each other. Everybody's playing in their own format. But it works.
What's the producer saying?
She's asking me to quit breathing heavily into the microphone.
Does that turn you on?
Let's talk about grindcore, I guess.
Grindcore.
Gets I'm a little steamy.
Let's talk about progressive rock and metal.
Let's talk about it.
I was just kidding.
This is
I'm not
this
kidding.
is your area
Right.
of expertise.
This is my era of expertise. Okay, progressive rock and metal. You know, starting off with the 70s prog rock, where everybody just gets stupid with their instruments.
Who was the first prog rock band in your opinion?
Chicago.
Yes. No. I mean, yes. Get it? See what I did there?
Yeah. No, the band, yes.
The band. Wait. I think you got it.
Yeah, no, they had that song about that fish.
Yes. Yeah. Correct. Yes.
Yes, the band.
Yes.
Screw
Right
it.
turn.
Jethro
Right,
Tull.
left. Wait.
King Crimson.
Jethro Tull.
ELP.
Okay, now you're stepping out of the metal thing. Well, are we still talking about metal? What are we talking
yes,
about?
we are. We're talking about progressive rock, and
Okay.
we're moving into progressive metal. So
Okay.
people that are good at their instruments, they get stupid with it. They want to write 15/8 time signatures. That's like 15 notes on top of a 8 count. It's just like, you know, you can like count those 15 notes, walk and get a beverage and come back and just start over, you know? That's the next measure. Now, not a lot of people have like keyboardists in their bands because that's not cool. Well, these guys have a keyboardist. They're pretty good keyboardists, actually. But, you know, it's like the run-of-the-mill, the Metallica factor of just 4 chuckle-headed, you know, Cro-Magnon brow guys with long hair. They don't shower. They don't need no sissy keyboards or any stuff like that.
Metal elitists is the term that they like.
I just thought metal mongoloids. I mean, metal elitist. I think someone was like, I've heard of this band, and because I have and you haven't, that's an elitist move, you know?
Yeah, that's
true.
So it's kind of like a hipster thing too, you know? Like
That's, yeah, like heavy metal hipsters.
Heavy metal hipsters.
There's okay, this is a little off subject here, but I gotta throw this out here. A friend of mine posted up on Facebook. This company that basically pulls restaurants nationwide released a statement about the rising prices of beer in New York City. They blame it solely on Pabst Blue Ribbon. I am not joking.
PBR, professional bar writing.
Go to that. What's that bar downtown? They base their drink prices on a market level.
The Exchange.
Yeah, the Exchange. Yeah.
Exchange.
Go see what PBR is. I bet it's the highest beer in there.
Huh?
Oh, it's $8 for a PBR.
It's like $6 for a shot of water. So
This is Des Moines.
Yeah.
Don't drink the Iowa City water.
We're
either.
wannabe Chicago.
We get off pretty lucky here. We
Yes.
played a Friday where we played. It was $6 for a bottle of Bud Light.
$18 for a
Domestic.
pitcher.
Good Lord, Felicia Rashad.
And that was like what, Bud Light?
Yeah, that was domestic.
No, thank you.
$6. Jeez.
Ooh.
What can you do for $6 here? Get into a show.
Yeah.
Precisely.
Most, yeah.
2 gallons of milk. Not
change.
2, 1.5. Milk went up.
9 ears of corn. I had to throw that in there. It's corn.
Yeah.
It is.
Corn's expensive in Iowa, which makes no sense unless it's May.
Probably because we're importing it from other states.
Yes.
Right.
Hey, Wisconsin gets their cheese from Pella.
engineered.
So what is the difference between doom metal and death metal?
Oh, Doom. It's
The tempo.
Yeah, it's slower.
The tempo, the tuning,
Yeah.
I was going to say,
Death
the
metal-
theatrics. Yeah.
Death metal's kind of become an all-encompassing subgenre, almost like heavy metal used to be. I mean, death metal, you could have Black Dahlia Murder, or you could have, it'd say the Red Chord. Completely opposite ends of the spectrum as far as sonics and what they sound like, but they could still both be called death metal. Doom is a very, very specific thing. A band that I just recently started getting into is called Cathedral.
Yeah.
Slow, and I'm talking like slower than Typo Negative. It is just
Do strippers strip to Candlemass and Cathedral like they do to Typo Negative?
They'd probably make more money.
They just double time it.
Yeah.
They'd probably
Maybe
make more
triple
money.
time it.
That's
Longer
not a
songs.
It's not a bad outlook on it, actually.
Work harder, not smarter.
They want to retire.
Okay, I'm out of questions. No, I'm just kidding.
Let's move on to, thrash and power metal.
Okay, sounds good. Let's do
How
that.
about 2 subgenres of speed metal? Okay.
What's speed metal though? I don't know much about
throw
this.
out thrash.
Skank beats, 16th notes. That's all you need.
Did you say skank beats?
Ska punk, skank.
You gotta put the areas of the globe in if you're gonna throw out thrash.
Oh, yeah.
because it's not just thrash at that point.
Right.
You've got Bay Area,
Geography,
You know,
yeah,
it becomes a very, very big definition in the genre itself. There are, I don't know. It's you have Bay Area. Every time I think of Bay Area, all I think of is Exodus.
Metallica.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Testament.
where does that 80s
Anthrax.
where does that 80s heavy metal come into factor? I mean, is that even in the heavy metal genre anymore?
Didn't they call that the new wave of British heavy metal?
Well,
That's bands like Samson, Iron Maiden, Thin
Right.
Lizzy.
I mean, is that still metal by today's standards, or
Completely.
Okay.
There's still harmonized guitar parts.
Metal's
Metal songs,
another
so I mean, I still think that's
all-encompassing.
Yeah.
Yeah, John Sykes and Gary Moore, they were a great team together. Scott Gorham as well.
I don't think you could ever accuse Iron Maiden of not being heavy.
Yeah.
They kind of, I mean, you listen to a lot of, at the turn of the 2001 rolled around. I mean, what was riding high at the time? It was new metal, But 2001 rolled around and Killswitch Engage released Alive or Just Breathing. And that record pretty much took all those elements of, the new wave of British heavy metal, Iron Maiden, pretty much Iron Maiden, really, just the chugging of the guitars. And then they fused that with that hardcore punk sound of it, and that's where that metalcore came from. But they really took that twin guitar harmony thing that you were talking about and brought it back into mainstream popularity. We had been so dumbed down. I mean, you remember Unloco?
Yeah, I've seen them at Harry Mary's.
Did you? Yeah. Okay. So like all these bands that were huge back in the 90s and even the early 2000s, they aren't selling like they used to be.
No, not at all.
Korn had to go dubstep.
Well, they had to reunite as an original band before
yeah.
they'll start to make money again. But
Yeah. They got head back.
They're doing it good.
yeah, he's back.
Is he the guy who found Jesus?
Yeah, that's
Yes.
the one.
Well, good for him.
Well, then his pockets ran a little thin. He was like, you know what?
I'm not
Screw
making any
Jesus.
money.
I'm going back to Korn.
maybe opening a missionary was a terrible idea.
Any Halford fans in the room? You big Halford? What do you
No.
think about him being on the Five Finger Death Punch single?
Oh.
What do you think about
Low
that?
blow.
Yeah, that's a true statement. That's
You don't think there was an exchange of money, do you?
oh yeah.
It doesn't bother me because as a Halford solo fan and one of my bass influences from Davenport, now in Arizona, played with Halford. I mean, I think he's just kind of bored with metal. I think he needs a break, and like maybe it's good publicity for him. It doesn't really bother me. I mean, Volbeat just did a song with King Diamond, so that's like up yours, America. Both are from Denmark, and it's like tell you the truth, I remember when Volbeat was a lot better under the radar, just like Lacuna Coil, and then they hit their
Jägermeister sponsorship.
Oh yeah, they're Monster endorsements, coffin cases. Everybody loves them. Then the music's different.
Do you think In Flames was the same way?
Correct. After Reroute to Remain,
I would agree with you there.
I thought Reroute was a good breakthrough, but after that, I just thought they just catered to the Dr. Seuss clothes wearing Hot Topic kids.
Yeah, the market, so to speak. Everybody gets bit by the devil at that point.
Some people overextend themselves. They start getting bills they can't afford, and they're like, "How do I get out of here?" And the producers are like, "I'll tell you how. Listen to me."
Answer.
Right.
Ice Earth, if you screw this up, I will blow you guys up.
About Rob Halford being on that Five Finger Death Punch, which that's got to be probably the worst band name ever.
It's catchy,
that
though.
is just so stupid.
It's catchy.
It's a Bruce Lee movie, I believe.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it that or is it Kill Bill?
Yeah, wasn't it the move and the Kill Bill?
Pretty sure it's Bruce Lee. I don't know. Callers, call in.
Yeah, where you guys?
Uma Thurman, are you watching?
I think
Robert Carradine. Oh.
I will tell you though, I do think that Rob Halford will be due for a new solo album after this whole.
No, I'll disagree. The last one was.
It's coming though. I mean, you put your face out there with Five Finger Death Punch, and someone's gonna top.
If anything, he could do another band like Fight or Two. I'd be just as fine, His other solo endeavors.
Is Judas Priest done then?
No.
Probably just not.
So that's what he's probably laying groundwork for maybe a new Judas Priest, and then he's gonna go on the festival circuit.
I believe they're done touring. I don't know. They say one thing, they do another. I remember how many times back in the '90s Ozzy retired and unretired and retired and unretired, and then
didn't KK Downing drop out?
He did. They have a replacement now.
Yeah, which to me that's.
It doesn't bother me.
He was the face of Judas Priest when I was in high school.
Maybe back when, but I always thought Glenn Tipton he did most of the more phenomenal stuff, and it wasn't that cool losing KK, but I think it'd be an even bigger blow to lose Scott Travis on drums, in which even though they're not known for the drum work, what you were talking about 1992 when Painkiller came out and that changed speed metal, he's kind of the core reason why that album was what it was. Having the drummer of Racer X take over like that.
Well, you lose those two, and you might as well call yourself Slayer at that point.
Yeah,
I didn't mean. I had to be the person to throw it out there.
They've had a lot of lineup changes too. Paul Bostaff,
probably their best drummer.
Who else? Dave Lombardo. Didn't they fire him or something?
Yeah, I think they pretty much just told him not to come back.
Well, I think he discovered a little funky accounting practices, and he called him on it, and that was the end of that.
Yeah,
or wasn't it the whole Kerry King?
But there's you know what? This is the guy who's quit the band twice now.
True.
And
where do you have room to speak at that point?
Yeah, he probably lost some of his
credibility.
Yeah, well, not credibility, but standing in the band. I mean, it's always been the Kerry King show, even though Hanneman, rest in peace, wrote all the good stuff.
Right. I never understood that either.
Yeah. All right, we're going to take a short break here, and we're going to resume this awesome conversation when we get back.
All right. From the Remax Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
Well, good morning. This is the 7th of June in the Lord's year 2010, and this is day 1 of webcast1live.com. We will begin with Max World Live with my special guest, Tom Coates. In just a minute, there's Tom. Wait. Howdy. And we will be live for the very first time on Webcast One Live. Someday we're going to look back on this and say, gosh, remember that old day in history? Wonder where Walter Cronkite was. He must have been around hanging there too. But actually, it's the beginning of Webcast One Live. And thank you for listening. Thanks, Rob Spearman, and everybody who's put together this project together. And we're ready to go live now. So thanks for listening to MaxWorldLive.com.
I can't tell you that it's going real well from time to time, but it is going.
The dawn of a new era begins.
Whether you're 10, 25, 50, 80 years old and beyond, everyone needs to live within their means. I'm Tom Coates with Consumer Credit of America. For almost a quarter of a century, we've helped people of all ages learn to manage their personal finances to benefit them far into the future. When problems arise, we've got the experience you need to make those debt problems go away. Got financial problems? Call Consumer Credit of America.
Well, hi, I'm Rob Spearman. I'm a broker-owner of RE/MAX Real Estate Concepts in Des Moines, Iowa. Give us a call if you're looking at buying or selling a home, or if you're having trouble on your mortgage payments or looking to purchase foreclosures. We have the agents to help you, experienced, outstanding agents. Our office number is 515-276-2872. Or if you'd like to look at homes, go to our website, homeconnectusa.com.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
Nope. Yeah, let me crank it up. Wait, let me put it in yours. Let me stick it in your hole. There it is.
We are back in this. We are back live in the studio here at the Bigfoot Diaries live, and we are sitting here with Seth Peters and BJ Forst of Dead Horse Trauma. We're talking heavy metal music and genres. There has been a side note for the show. Jeff Banks will not make it in tonight. He was going to be our musical guest. With the tornado warnings and everything else, he didn't feel safe leaving his family at home, which is total understandable. We will reschedule and get him on. And if you guys haven't heard him play, he will seriously just blow you away. He is incredible. So back to the conversation. We're talking about subgenres, genres, heavy metal in general. We're talking about bands which fall under different labels. Where do we break at? What were we talking about?
KK Downing.
KK Downing. Okay. It looks like we have Turtle Boy, one of our writers. He is actually on hold here. Let me see if I can do this right. Turtle Boy will be our fourth caller ever, I believe.
Can we send him a gift card?
Turtle Boy, can you hear me?
Bark twice if you're in California.
Oh, hold on. Turtle Boy, can you hear me?
Hey.
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, what's up, everybody?
How you doing?
Hello.
Fine.
Are you watching us live on the internet?
Yeah, I am actually.
Are we getting anything right as far as genres and subgenres?
yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. I've always kind of touted you as the king just because you always, well, when you write your articles, there's just, it's almost, okay, I'm old, okay? I'm just going to put it out there. I'm much older than most of these guys. And
you're old, you fart dust.
I get lost in the article because I'm trying to wrap my head around all these different descriptions of music.
He's having to Google things.
Wikipedia.
So what exactly do we get right and what did we get wrong, or is there anything else that we should talk about?
Well, did you guys talk about black metal already?
No, we haven't talked about black metal.
Christ punching black metal.
The kind that makes you want to chop up your best friend after you just got done playing a show
go
and cook him.
mayhem on the world.
Burn some churches down.
Euronymous, eponymous. hippopotamus, one of those three.
Euronymous.
Euronymous.
Dummy burger.
Oh no, man! Grant knows the hip stuff. We're talking like.
I only know Hot Topic black metal.
Yes, he does. He does not know the End Records or what's another good black metal label.
Atlantic.
Roadrunner. Motown.
Warner.
That's really black metal in Motown.
Turtle Boy, and be careful here, please. We are live on the air. Who's your favorite black metal band?
Black metal, I would have to say Gorgoroth.
Who?
Gorgoroth.
Gorgoroth, definitely Gorgoroth. That's the story behind them. The fact that they're still active and they're still kind of scary, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And their makeup runs.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, yeah, dude. What's a band I like? Arcturus. They're more avant-garde black.
What?
Yeah.
Did you just name a place in Mordor?
Where have you guys been under a rock?
Just turn it over.
Do I need to
Turtle Boy
school
and
you
Joey.
guys on black and white metal? Yeah, there's also white metal.
What is white?
Yeah, it's just like
Well,
Christian
if you
black
go
metal.
down, there's up.
Christian black metal.
No,
Yeah,
Christian,
that's what it is.
No.
Christian black metal.
That sounds terrible. I don't
That's
even.
like Quiet Riot. It's,
Quiet
oxymoron.
Riot?
Oxymoron.
Did you say it's like Quiet Riot?
Yeah, oxymoron.
Okay. Oh, I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
A song about slaughtering the devil. That doesn't sound cool.
Well, go back and listen to those first two Under Oath EPs. They were legitimately black metal.
You're saying
No,
Striper isn't cool.
no.
Oh,
I
apparently they're not.
disagree as well. I disagree as well.
Oh God, you guys think of Striper. What about Sinbreed? What about what's another one? Darkwater.
Petra.
Seventh Wonder. Petra.
The Res Band.
Petra.
Did we really get on this topic?
You really are old. Petra.
Kiss sang God Gave Rock and Roll to You.
I know. What a horrible cover, right? And it's God Gave Rock and Roll to You too.
Career mistake number 7 for
Yeah,
Kiss.
that was on the movie Bill and Ted's Bogus Movie.
Hey, I almost bought that CD for $1. I totally didn't.
Oh,
totally
you wouldn't buy it for $1. I wouldn't buy it for $1.
So, Turtle Boy, you recently, I think was it this last weekend, you went and saw Napalm Death and Cannibal Corpse. Is that right?
Yes, I did. I'm sorry I haven't done a review on it.
Oh, that's good. I know you will, and I look forward to it.
Was that the Decibel magazine tour?
Yes, it is exactly. I believe Napalm's doing a show there, right, in this month.
Yeah, I think at Woolies, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm going to that. I got tickets. I got tickets to the show. Just hang out with me.
I recommend all you guys go. I recommend everyone go. Take your moms, take your dads, your grandmas, your kids.
Mom would love
To
it.
Napalm Death?
Oh, yeah.
To Napalm Death.
My dad would be all about that, too.
Yeah, I'm sure my dad would.
I'm
probably
sure
enjoy
my
himself.
parents would ground me after that. So.
Hey, Turtle Boy. Napalm Death. At our show, we have a local group here called Agronex. They're a black metal group. They're hilarious, but they actually put on a good show. I don't know if you've heard of Agronex.
Joby's asking you out on a date right now.
I told you I got tickets.
I have not
You think I'd take your pretty boy? You're too good looking for this show. We only want uggos at this
I'll
show.
put guy liner on. It'll be okay.
Turtle Boy, I'm in the studio here with Dead Horse Trauma, and I am going to get a CD from them and send it out to you and let you review it because your opinion really matters to me. And I mean, the way I met Turtle Boy is strange. I was actually on a punk rock photographer's website, and I saw this photograph of her in the backyard of some party or something. And there's all these pictures of, Bad Religion, and I think, just several punk bands. Even like Red Hot Chili Peppers were there and some other people. Then all of a sudden there's this little kid. And I'm like, who is this guy, And so he was tagged as Pablo Vargas on the Facebook.
gave
So
away his real name?
I contacted him, and he's agreed to write for the site, which is, but you grew up a punk fan, is that right?
Yes, definitely. That was actually at a Ramones convention.
A Ramones convention, okay.
Yes, at it was like Johnny Ramone, where Didi Ramone's buried.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, it was actually a Ramones convention, and I just took a picture with her because I love her pictures. What she did with the Germs and the Clash and the Sex Pistols.
Yeah, we were actually. I had a buddy over this weekend, and we were looking through her book, and I was kind of geeking out on it because there are some awesome photos in there of Darby Crash and some other, like you said, the Germs and whatnot. So, but hey, bro, I'm gonna let you go because for the first time ever, we have a second caller
that's cool,
online.
Mom,
and we're going to. In the future, we're going to figure out how we can get you to Skype live with us and be on the show, permanent with us and stuff like that. So
yeah, for sure, man, for sure.
But I really enjoyed talking to you, and I'm glad you called in. And I'll touch base with you later, okay, buddy?
I love it.
And
Hey, guys, thank you for everything.
I'm going to get you a Dead Horse Trauma CD, and I'll send it out to you. Okay.
For sure.
All right, man.
All right, thanks a lot, everybody.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Peace.
All right, later.
Deuces.
All right, we're gonna go to Snyder, and we're gonna
Hey,
go.
how's it going, folks? It's Snyder. What's up?
Hey, Snyder, how you doing?
Where are
Not
you?
too bad. I'm in Kentucky right now.
What are you doing in Kentucky?
Oh, I'm driving truck, man.
What you got in the back of that 18-wheeler?
You got the best Kentucky bourbon ever.
So I got a question. We're going to play the lifeboat game. I'm going to name 4 bands. Only 3 of them can survive on the lifeboat. One of them's got to drown. I want to know which one you would pick.
I'm ready for this.
Pick wisely.
All right. So we got Pantera, we got Sabbath, Maiden, and Metallica. All 4
Oh,
were
jeez.
Easy for me.
You know,
Yeah, it's easy for me.
Hey,
too.
easy for me too.
Snyder, I'm
but-
gonna level with you. I've been a Metallica fan circa 1982 to 1988 for all my life, so I would have to bury Sabbath. You know, I enjoy Ozzy, but there's
Burn
a
the
time
heretic.
there's a time and a place, and I think that time is already surpassed. And I wasn't pleased by any means with the new album, so I think that Sabbath would be my choice.
Burn the
But
heretic.
what they did for metal and how they brought it to the forefront, though. I mean, you just
Are you
bury
gonna
that.
argue with me right now,
Do
Snyder,
it.
that
Yeah.
Metallica didn't drive America's image of metal straight to the ground?
Is
Yeah.
Pantera out of the question?
But,
Oh,
no, I will
they're
never.
they're
Yeah.
never.
Now,
not.
Pantera, is that Glam Terra including? Because I love that stuff.
Tara.
Because
Yeah, Hard Ride with Me.
I met Rex Brown at a meet and greet here in Des Moines, and I thought the guy was a douchebag, man.
Was that it with Kill Devil Hill?
Yes.
Okay.
Vinnie Paul was cool, but
Did you meet Mark Zavon? Because he's from my hood. He's a sweet guitarist. He's from a JRZ system. He also played, believe it or not, the guy from Kill Devil Hill on guitar played with Rat and Stephen Pearcy. Now, that must have been one hell of a paycheck, because JRZ system is really, it's pretty much like Steve I. Satriani music, you know, based out of Omaha, Nebraska. Now, I guess that's all I have, but
are you still there, Snyder?
Yeah, I'm here.
I'm tossing
So,
Maiden.
I can kind of agree that Rex is kind of a jerk, because I saw him at playing with Down at the Ranch Bowl in Omaha. There was no security, so they let everybody just come up on stage and stage dive. It was a big old party, and they just said respect the people with the instrument. Some guy came up on stage, put his arm around Rex. Rex turned around and popped the dude in the head, threw him off the stage. It was
Meth does
awesome.
some crazy stuff.
You know, I kind of like that though. You know,
What year was that?
Ranch Bowl days, that was back when I had hair.
That had to have been like probably 2002, maybe.
Okay.
wow.
I had hair.
I would say.
So that was
Yeah.
before Dimebag then?
Yeah. Like
Yep.
2004.
Okay, so let's
It
go.
was
Let's
right
go.
after the second album came out, after Bustle in Your Hedgerow came
Right on.
out. And it was a killer show, one of the best shows I've ever seen.
Yeah.
The Ranch Bowl had some awesome shows.
That's an awesome album, too.
Okay, we're gonna go around the board here, and everybody's gonna say who they're gonna throw off the boat. I'm gonna toss Pantera.
What?
Yeah,
That's
I love Maiden.
Gross.
Even Metallica, I've seen them like 5 times, and each time I always go in there with low expectations, and whenever I walk out, I'm just blown away. Yeah, I mean it's
I can't guarantee that'll be the same way the next time you see him.
well, probably not. In fact, I saw. Is it Down open up for him last time? I think they were at Wells
that's it.
Fargo.
Yeah, the
And
arena.
I thought it was horrible.
I heard Down was terrible on
Yeah,
that tour.
the sound was awful, and
More like Down syndrome, right?
right, exactly. not that it's a bad thing.
Don't worry, the PC police aren't listening.
I'm evil.
Oh man.
So who do you got, Dr. Evil?
All right. I'm going to toss Brotalica.
Okay.
And Metallica fans are the most annoyingest fans at metal shows, saying how superior they are. And I'll tell you what,
What about Slayer fans? You ever met a humble Slayer fan?
There's not one. They're
they
bleeding
smell. I never
constantly.
talked to them, so. But Black Sabbath having all those good singers, you know, from, you know, Dio, Ian Gillan, Ray Gillan, Glenn Hughes, Tony Martin years, you know.
Ozzy Osbourne.
This all
Oh,
sounds
that guy?
forced.
Who do you got, Grant? Who you throwing off the boat?
It's got to be Metallica. You know, I am a self-professed Saint Anger lover, but man, I tell you what, Lulu just that flushed it for me, and I can't stand. Who's that other guy? Lou Reed.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate him too.
Is he the table
Those are
or was
terrible
James
albums.
Hetfield the table? I
James
forget.
Hetfield was the table. Yeah, he is.
He is the table.
I'm sticking with my answer. I'm flushing Sabbath.
They're gone.
I'm getting rid of them.
Who do you got, Seth?
Iron Maiden for sure.
Wow.
Just because I hate Gallops.
Yeah, he's not a.
What a diverse group of people we have here.
I am call me jaded. I don't like Gallops.
Seth hates the number of the beast with a passion.
Snyder, who you
Fine,
tossing?
listen to Somewhere in Time. Listen to Fear of the Dark, you spiky-haired turd.
Okay, Snyder, who are you tossing off?
It's such a hard call, but I gotta toss Metallica.
Oh.
They did a lot, but
Up yours, BJ.
We used to be friends, man.
Awesome.
I mean, I love Metallica, but I mean, just the other three bands. God, I mean, you can't throw Pantera off there. I mean, Bruce Dickinson has the golden voice. So
Right.
You can't throw
Dave Murray's guitar.
Hey, Bruce
Yeah,
Dickinson can fly a
Name
plane.
one album that Black Sabbath did that beats Metallica's Kill 'Em All.
Oh, easy. Headless Cross.
That's a lie.
Yeah.
Of course he picks a Dio album.
That's not Dio. That's Tony Martin. And you know what?
Okay.
When was the last time they picked a fretless bass and did awesome?
Wow.
Yeah. Lawrence Cottle. I know you're out there.
Snyder, thanks for calling in, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Have a good night, guys.
And I'm glad you
brother.
tuned in.
Good night.
Later.
All right, we are in the studio with Dead Horse Trauma. We got Seth and BJ. And you guys have any upcoming shows around here, or you guys want to do a little band plug for yourselves here?
Oh, certainly. Next Friday night, May 24th,
Yep.
we are at Woolies.
Here in Des Moines.
Yes, for the final Mind Right show. That's going to be killer. It's going to be us, Mind Right, Index Case, As For You, and Marcato.
The return of Marcato, yeah.
Excellent.
So that should be a good show. And then the very next night, we're actually at Iowa Rock Fest.
Never heard of that.
It's I think Boba Flex is a headliner Friday night, and then we're on with Stabbing Westward, or not Stabbing, The Dreaming, formerly Stabbing
AKA.
Okay.
Where is Iowa Rock Fest? What city?
Fort Madison.
Okay.
Some rodeo fairgrounds, something or other.
So it's a local music festival? Like, is it mostly local?
They
music?
have it's mostly local. They brought in a few nationals to come in and top off the nights. Really make people's ticket money worth it. But
Sure.
yeah, we're happy to be a part of that. There's a radio station down there, KQ92, that helps us out a lot, and they're putting that on. So
Very
Awesome.
generous.
And you guys have a website information and that kind of thing?
Facebook, Twitter, MySpace. We have a .com too. DeadHorseTrauma.com, Facebook.com/DeadHorseTrauma. We have a YouTube channel.
That we do.
Are you guys on LinkedIn?
I am, but
I don't think I'm linked to
you can't link in to Dead
That's the
Horse Trauma.
Facebook for resumes.
Well, I'll tell you what, you guys have been great. It's been fun having you in the studio. It's been probably the fastest hour we've had, in the Bigfoot Diaries Webcast One studios. So I'd like to thank you guys for coming in for sure.
Oh no, thank you guys for
Um,
having us. Man. It's been a good time.
We'd love to come back again. It was
Well, yeah, I'd like to have you guys back
We'll do an
again.
acoustic for you. We'll write a ballad per se.
Will you?
No,
No
we
problem.
won't.
There
We
will
won't
ever
do
It
that.
would be 2 acoustic guitars before it would ever be an acoustic bass. and a
We could
guitar.
launch like an Indiegogo or a Kickstarter and get that thing
Yeah,
recorded.
Kickstarter. We need $1,000 and we'll do an acoustic song. Kickstarter.com.
Yikes.
And he's going to off his wife.
We've got plans for how we're going to make our 3rd and 4th and 5th $1 million. So
Kickstarter, Indiegogo, all those.
Someone said something about killing their wife. No.
Okay,
I'm
anyway.
sorry. That was a stab at as it lay down. I'm sorry. I had to get it out there.
Well, I want to thank you guys for coming in. I want to thank Grant and Dr. Evil for making it. Sebekian, wherever you are, I hope you're safe. Shep, I hope you get to feeling better. I'd like to thank Daydreams for being a proud sponsor. Tom Bolin and Artworks Hand Screen Printing. The Ritual Cafe, Magnus Celegrin at Celegrin Design, Art is the Enemy, and Jeremiah at Brolesha Records. I'd like to thank all those guys for their support.
Side note, Tom Bolin was my high school art teacher. What's up, buddy?
Nice. Tom Bolin, oh yeah, really?
Yeah. Small world.
That's pretty cool. I didn't know that he was even that old, so.
Oh.
Wait,
yeah.
Now it's almost like you're calling Seth old there for a minute.
No, I'm young. Because I was
Right.
I was a student.
What year though?
We're not going to get into that.
All right. Well, anyway, I would like to thank you guys for coming in. Thank everybody. If you want to send us a demo or a CD to be reviewed, you can send it to P.O. Box 1805, Des Moines, Iowa 50305. Our next show will be June 23rd, and Tom Boland will be our guest. Right. And we're going to have the musical guest, King of the Tramps, in the studio.
Also, guys I went to high school with.
Nice.
Yeah.
Those guys are great, man.
Yeah,
I got their new CD. It's
good.
fantastic.
Very, very good.
Jeff Banks, if you're watching, we'll get you next time. And I'd like to thank you for watching the Bigfoot Diaries live, and we'll see you next month. Thanks.
Toodles.
Keep on rocking. That was fun.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
Well, good morning. This is the 7th of June in the Lord's year 2010, and this is day 1 of webcast1live.com. We will begin with Max World Live with my special guest, Tom Coates. In just a minute, there's Tom. Wait. Howdy. And we will be live for the very first time on Webcast One Live. Someday we're going to look back on this and say, gosh, remember that old day in history? Wonder where Walter Cronkite was. He must have been around hanging there too. But actually, it's the beginning of Webcast One Live. And thank you for listening. Thanks, Rob Spearman, and everybody who's put together this project together. And we're ready to go live now. So thanks for listening to MaxWorldLive.com.
I can't tell you that it's going real well from time to time, but it is going, man.
The dawn of a new era begins.
Whether you're 10, 25, 50, 80 years old and beyond, everyone needs to live within their means. I'm Tom Coates with Consumer Credit of America. For almost a quarter of a century, we've helped people of all ages learn to manage their personal finances to benefit them far into the future. When problems arise, we've got the experience you need to make those debt problems go away. Got financial problems? Call Consumer Credit of America.
Well, hi, I'm Rob Spearman. I'm a broker-owner of RE/MAX Real Estate Concepts in Des Moines, Iowa. Give us a call if you're looking at buying or selling a home, or if you're having trouble on your mortgage payments or looking to purchase foreclosures. We have the agents to help you, experienced, outstanding agents. Our office number is 515-276-2872. Or if you'd like to look at homes, go to our website, homeconnectusa.com.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.